easy. It's so consistent, yeah? The tanks are hard. You have to, like, land shit pretty perfectly to get the tanks, but you can. I think it's a maximum possible 480 damage if you land every single pellet of both shots into the head, plus the 30 melee. You can one-shot with right-click. Yeah, it does 240 headshot. If you're, like, at the right range, you can one-shot squishies with it. It's so annoying to just randomly die to a Hog right-click. Oh, yeah. Hog, the thing with Hog, both playing with him, or playing him and playing against him, is if you are in his face, or you are between 8 and 10 meters away, you are absolutely boned. He will destroy you. And if you are at any other range, you can kind of fuck him up on most heroes if you dodge the hook, yeah? He has 2 effective ranges that are very narrow, but in those ranges, he is lethal as fuck. Yeah. If you choose to play any Hog, single best thing you can do as soon as possible is learn the range of your right clicks. Like, get so comfortable with it that you just know when somebody is at the right distance or you need to back up or get closer. Because once you have that range just built into you, you farm. You hard farm. Good try with the rock. Don't get this close. So, let me show you. The Sig left a gap in his shield. So we just come here. And we shoot there. And the Sigma can't actually shoot us because he doesn't have something to bounce his fire off of to get to you, really. I mean, maybe he could, like, try to shoot here and get you, but it's going to be a lot harder for him than for you because he's in a narrow little hallway. If you place the shield better, then don't walk through it into the tiny room. The tiny room is where you go to die against the likes of Sigma and all those respawns, yeah? We just back up, and we start spamming out his shield. It's not our favorite target, but it's consistent damage, and it's still value, yeah? And if his shield breaks before yours, you're at a large inherent advantage over him, yeah? So, yeah, if you have anything else to shoot, don't shoot a shield. But don't put yourself in danger to get past it either. Just shoot it at that point. I want to be clear that I mean specifically, like, early like this. If it was, like, in the middle of the fight, everyone's hard committing on everyone else, then maybe, yeah, you have to go through the shield and brawl because everyone's brawling. It's time to go. But that's something different than the situation in front of us, yeah? This is all really good. Look how much damage you're doing. Great flux. Great. Aw, you... A hair early. I actually thought you had that. You either go a little earlier and you cancel the res, or a little later and you get the res in it. But otherwise, that was so good. That was really good. I'll be real, your Sigma is straight up better than your Rhine. Like, your Rhine wasn't bad. Like, look at this. So, this is a bad habit that, like, tons of players have, any role, any hero, pretty much. When you want to hit your shots, you get closer. And that can be true on a lot of heroes, that it's easier to hit your shots. Sigma's one of the weird exceptions. If you get too close to people, it becomes so easy for them to dodge you. It's a little bit different when they're backed into a corner like this, but even still, when they're backed into a corner, it becomes almost impossible for you to miss at max range. Because if you do miss, it just ricochets and hits them anyway, yeah? So, try to avoid walking forward into people. You want to just keep them at that distance, yeah? Nice rock. Good eat. There's all just cleanup. Dang. Yeah, so whenever we're getting lost and confused like this, back up. Back up to the side so we can take a look around. I already said that. I'm just saying it again. Getting sucked into the middle is just a recipe for getting confused, yeah? Like, for anyone. It's not you're getting confused because, you know, you're bad or whatever. Anyone would get confused playing like that because it's confusing. It's hard. So just back up. Make things easier for yourself. When you see what's going on, you make really good choices. Yeah? I think the only other thing... let me see if I have the code, actually. Also, if you have any questions, let me know. My friends call me a Ryan One Trick because I really do main Ryan. With the caveat that I do strongly believe you should play what you enjoy first. If you're enjoying Sigma, he's strong right now and you're strong on him. You got some SR to climb on Sigma for sure. Can't one trick in one rank. You can. You're trading one challenge for another. So if you flex, you have to learn how to play a lot of different heroes to the level of whatever elo you want to play them in, yeah? That's a challenge. That's a lot that you have to learn. If you want to one trick a hero, you have to go so deep onto them and get so good with them that you can outplay your counters, which is absolutely possible. And it's just a different challenge, yeah? It's a different depth of knowledge you need to get. Which challenge you choose is up to you as far as I'm concerned. Do the one that brings you the most joy, or at least the least dissatisfaction. Oh, right. Let me see if I have the code. I think I do. Workshop codes. Oh, yeah. Sigma reaction tool. So, I forget exactly what the ults are, but it's actually on the point that you were just fighting on. And it'll spawn a random hero in a random spot on the point as they cast their ultimate, and you have to react with the right cooldown in the right spot in time to cancel it, whether it's blocking it with your shield, eating it with your suck, or canceling it with your rock, yeah? So, responding quickly with the correct cooldown. It's hard at first, but it's really, really good for people who are newer to Sigma to get comfortable with his cooldowns, yeah? So I'd recommend doing this, and then otherwise, like, I think we're cooking. Just remember to back up, remember to, like, take space when you can so you can then give it up, and otherwise just know that by default you want to be holding a high ground off angle if you can. And so whenever we're confused, not sure what to do, go there first and then look around and try to figure shit out from there, yeah? Because it should, most of the time, be easier to figure it out from those positions. Anyway, cool. Yeah, you want to drop another VOD, feel free. You have any questions, feel free. I'd highly recommend joining the Discord because you can just drop VODs whenever you want in the coaching request channel. And there's also a questions and answers channel that, like, lots of people like to chime in on. Got a Masters player, got a GM player. It's pretty rad. Yep? Okay, cool. Flexing is easier, IMOs, and sometimes you only just need to play the better hero and you win. Yeah. My opinion is you should keep your hero pool small, but not one. I think 2 or 3 is usually good to give you answers for a variety of situations without having to get really good at just a shit ton of heroes, because that's way too hard, yeah? And that's part of why I suck at DPS, is I get bored if I play anyone for any length of time, so I just sort of randomly select them all and just do poorly. Linked another VOD? Cool. I can probably get to it next time, but for now, do we have Godly, Niper, or Augie in chat? I know we got Fezzy and I know we got Vax. Yeah, for sure. Almost done with second coffee, and then finishing it off with Cafe Suada. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right because I don't speak Vietnamese, but Vietnamese iced coffee. I'm gonna go to Ika shower, so do Vax first if no one else is here. All right, cool. Hey Vax, are you here? Oh, cool. All right. Sweet. We get to do a GM VOD. Bam. I hated this game. Oh no.
Welcome to Rialto. Ready for battle. Five.
God, I love Vietnamese food. This is so good. Anyway. Playing slow, watching out for that hook. Not sure what our Zarya's thinking, but whatever. Maybe she just, like, didn't react fast enough with her bubble or something. It was like 2 a.m. games where were getting bad and I just wanted to leave halfway through. Aw. Yeah. I hate how late night games get sometimes. Yeah, your Zarya seems to be struggling against this hog. That's unfortunate. I guess the only thing I have to say about this is, so the whole, like, playing slow and safe to start with is great to start with, but somewhere in here, 2 minutes in, especially since we have our trank now, but like even maybe before then, sometime after the first minute of playing slow and careful with my team, I'm making a play, yeah, on Zen. Shooting down main, you just don't have quite enough uptime and you don't have great targets. So you could just take the time to come up here. That might be really good, actually. You got to be careful, but give you an angle. You might even come to here, although that's its own kind of risk. I don't know. I probably wouldn't do that, actually. But you know what I'm saying? We need to try to take some kind of angle. And it is really hard because we're not getting a lot of space from our tanks. And the enemy DPS are... the enemy DPS are doing a better job of map control than our friendly tanks are. And that's really unfortunate. It would be really nice if our tanks were clearing these guys out rather than our Doomfist trying and failing. But it's ranked. So, like, at some point, it has fallen into our hands to get creative and try to get some real damage in, because we're not getting the space from our tanks, so we have to get it for them. Yeah? If that makes sense? We just didn't play the game for a very long time. Oop, ah. Yeah. Nice. I probably would have tranked that. I don't know what our Echo is thinking here, but she's nanoed, and we're up 2, and she's crit, and we just heard Dragon go off, so I would have just run through the Dragon with that and let our team push through. Because the other thing is the Dragon is cutting you guys off. Even if the Echo had lived over here, no one can push through this and take space. Good Dragon. So your trance lets you guys ignore it and take the space anyway. I hit E on her and it didn't go off. Aw, that's unlucky. I mean, I still would have tranked, but... Because I don't think, like, your orb would have been enough necessarily against all that. Because the other thing is, I mean, just looking at the time bank, I think we can assume that you capped this point. But with how little time is left, if you had used your trank that fight, you would for sure be able to build another trank before you guys lost this point. You would get one more trank on this point if you guys don't win this next fight, yeah? But now, as it goes down, it's getting iffier and iffier and iffier that you'll be able to build another trank after this. You've reduced yourself to only one ult in a 4-minute round. Even though you did earn it, like, you had your ult in plenty of time, yeah? I think you gained the first one so fast, you'd probably already have the second by now. Cool. That said, like, ultimately we didn't end up needing it. It just, given how our team had been playing up until that point, I don't want any of the fights getting iffy if I can avoid them at all getting iffy. Because the moment they get iffy, your team seems to fall apart. Ah, just a hair too slow. Unfortunate. I felt useless when I came to trank this game. So, other than being a hair too slow on your hog, which was unfortunate, that's just unlucky. Think about what you guys could have done with that trank. Like, it just saves the hog, but then the cart was, like, still way the hell back here moving for free anyway. The enemy team was, like, way up back here, so you can't really push into them. Like, you save your hog, and then you guys just back up to the cart anyway. So I think, just given the timing of it all, you just let your hog die, and you back out with your Orisa, and try to keep the cart moving and the pressure up with them for your hog to return and you guys to take another fight. That said, you'd already been holding Trank for so long at that point, I get wanting to just fucking use it, so you can, like, you know, use your ult and build the next one, but in an ideal world, we had Tranked that dragon, and then we held our second Trank on that hog. Bang. I just want to see this fight one more time, like, popped out. Because this looked to me like you guys had won it. Honestly. Like, the on paper you've won this fight just because of the positions you had taken sort of won it, but it looked to me like you guys had them pretty thoroughly surrounded. I guess your BAP is dead. That's probably actually what the problem was.
It's high noon.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I just missed that your BAP died first right at the beginning, which then meant your tanks couldn't hold this space against all that damage. So, unlucky. I'm not sure what happened with your BAP. Whatever, that's his problem. But if he had lived there, you probably win that fight. Just straight up off of your positioning. I'm gonna go practice Hog, have a good stream, and again, thank you. Yeah, for sure, have fun. I'm gonna be honest, my Hog and BAP were worthless this game. Yeah. I haven't even really been paying too much attention to them, and they seem to be struggling. So, was it your Orisa wasn't doing too great on Zarya either, to be fair. Though it does seem to be doing a little bit better on Orisa. I don't know. This is too high in elo for your tanks to be playing like supports can keep them alive through focus fire. Like, in a 4200 lobby, you cannot heal through the damage. Like, it's just not fucking possible, and that tank in particular is playing like she'll just live through anything because she has her supports with her. I think this drop was bad. Let me see something. Oh, you wanted to hit Q and you just... Oh, you greeted on the right click first. That's so unlucky. You dropped... Okay. You dropped to hit Q, yeah? And then you just greeted on the right click and you died. Yeah. Unlucky. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the only thing to say there is... hit the right click while you're on the stairs and then drop as you're hitting Q. Just because charging the right click when you're that close, you don't have time to stop and do something else, yeah?
10 seconds.
Experience tranquility.
Overtime.
Man. This is unrelated to your game and more related to my food, but I hate Boston. It was Vietnamese food. It was like one of my all-time favorite foods, all-time favorite dishes, and I asked for it like the spiciest option they had, and there is barely any detectable heat whatsoever because I'm in fucking New England.
Complete.
Where the fuck is my map in this situation, by the way? I actually almost lost it when I died to nothing there. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, we're a little bit close. We don't need to be this close. Would have been a little bit nicer if instead we had wrapped to, like, here sort of thing to use the window and force people off the cart. I think that's the thing. You spend... Your positioning is generally pretty good. Like, it's not like you int sort of bad positioning. You never take aggressive angles on Zen. I shouldn't say never. You don't do it often enough, yeah? You spend too much time playing safe and not enough time making plays, and 4200 and up especially, like, you have to be making plays, at least some of the time. Yeah? And, like, helping your team with the map control by taking angles, because the pressure you can output on an angle is so fucking strong, and it can make so much space for your team, even when they're maybe not the greatest players. Whether or not that makes the difference this game in particular, who the fuck knows? But I think that's the thing that... The carry potential that's missing from your Zen play that might have actually carried this game. Is just hitting some angles and using those angles to actually get kills or force the enemy back because they can't deal with the angle pressure.
Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, before this one I had to trank from spawn. Just dying on stairs to spam. Oh, yeah.
The payload.
Actual bright light from our bath with that lamp. Nah. Ooh, good kill. But yeah, look at how you're centering yourself on the cart in all of this. It was like the single biggest thing missing from your Zen play is, and honestly, like, I honestly trust you to be better than me at choosing which angles a lot of the time. You just got to be choosing angles, any angle. Get creative, get funky with it. Just don't be in the middle. Pick somewhere. Whatever you think you can get away with, whatever you're going to live and get damage in, get creative, get weird, whatever you have to do to not be here for this much time, yeah? You have to start here most of the time, because if you just, teleport on their backline, you're going to die. But you got to be splitting way sooner than this. Like I said, I kind of trust you to choose your angles, but choose an angle. Any angle. Nice. Unfortunately, you can't save those two through tire, but it was still a good trank. And this is really good. You hear the steps. Okay. Good. This is one of the single biggest differences right here between high elo players and mid and low elo players. And I mean, just listen. You heard that and you reacted to it immediately. You actually turned around and did something about it. That simple, I heard a hog behind me and I turned around to look and do something. I almost feel sad that I had to illustrate that point, but this is missing from low elo players. So anyone watching, your awareness, get your awareness up, and you will just do so much more, and you'll die to so much less. And your teammates will die to so much less too, because you'll be able to bail them out in time. Headphones plus 100 SR, real. Yeah, dude, you're really smart. You read the enemy team really well a lot of the time. You're lessening your own impact. Yeah? And I mean, not to be too flamey or too much of a dick, but let's look at our team here this game. Of all of the impact to lower, your own is probably not it, yeah? You can afford to lower their impact a bit and go get some of your own instead. I'm not saying, like, hard split, hard flank, ignore your team, any of that bullshit. I think you understand. But, like, find those opportunities to take angles, and you will help them out so goddamn much. Fun fact, I have my Discord and Harmony Orb keybind swapped. I think I have one on mouse and one on spacebar. I mean, I know I have one on mouse, one on spacebar, but you can't remember which is which. It's just muscle memory. I think, yeah, healing is spacebar. Discord is mouse button.
The outcome is not preordained. Present unfulfilled potential.
Yeah, honestly, everything about your play, but add in, not, like I said, not necessarily hard flanks, although sometimes hard flanks, but just adding in more angles and helping more with map control probably gets you to 4-4, everything else staying the same, like. And then above 4-4 is pretty much just, you can't ever make a mistake, and your mechanics have to be approaching godlike above 4-4. Yeah. This was just not on me? Oh, no. Of course not. No. But I think... Here, let me be clear here. You didn't throw this. I do think there was potential for you to carry it. Yeah? I think if you go tank on Zen in this game, and that's literally what I mean, is go be a tank on Zen. Yeah? You have to be real careful about how you do it, because you're fragile, but you can really help with map control because of the pressure you put out. And that might have carried this game. Might not. But it would have allowed you more opportunities to get kills. It would have forced the enemy back a bit more. There was a path to maybe carrying this. You didn't throw it. But, yeah. The first two tranks, or, well, the first trank was a little rough. After that, they were all kind of fine. It's angles. Split from your team and take an angle. Yeah, you get sucked into the middle still sometimes. Your impact will go up. Yeah? Astronomically. Right now, the way you play kind of not saying it's necessarily wrong every game, it's just hard for ranked because you're playing a Zen that relies on teammates to all be doing their jobs. And if they were all doing their jobs well, you were playing fucking great. You would have gotten so much work done. You would have been able to take so much space. But because they weren't getting you that space, you had to go take it yourself, yeah? Because it's ranked.